Howdy, Fort Bend. William Ferguson here from the beautiful Seth. I am in the Howdy Fort Bend studio with one of my special guests today. I am so excited for you to meet. He is, to me, a local legend, and I'll tell you why I love Dan Matthews so much. Dan Matthews has stood up time and time and time again for our community to represent us, to solve problems. And so I captured Dan, a little bit of his time. As it turns out, Dan was actually out knocking doors, telling people about his upcoming campaign. Dan, how's your day going so far?
Well, William, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And you probably went a little overboard with my introduction, but thanks for your kind words.
Well, hey, you're very welcome. You've earned more than that. So, Dan, what I'm doing with our platform, our format here, is we're gonna have a little quick conversation. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. They're really pretty shallow. So if you decide to go deep, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. And then I'll kind of sum up. Maybe after the three questions, I may ask you a question based on something you said during the interview. So what I want to first start with, Dan, is let's just assume no one knows you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's assume no one knows you, and we want to know why, like your deepest reason why. Don't give me some little shallow answer. Tell me why you always put yourself out there for our community.
Well, it's a lot of people know me already because I'm out there talking, knocking doors and things like that. But you know why I'm running? I'm running for District 28 for the state rep.
Yes.
State rep.
Yes.
The reason is it's not for personal, but the reason is the state and the people because they need to see a change in Texas. They are tired of it. They got enough of what they have so far and say no more. We need a change in Texas, and this is the time. If we don't do now, then when? We don't have another chance. Right now is the time to do some changes, and people are very much excited about it, William.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for bringing the heat early. That's what I like. So my three questions starts with this. Why Dan?
Well,
Why?
it is not about Dan.
Yeah.
It is about the core conservative values of Texas that we all stand for. Remember, I am talking about and talking for the conservatives of Texas.
Sure.
So this is not about Dan. This is about the people, the conservative people of Texas.
Okay, so I'm going to have to push back. You got me pushing back early.
Go ahead.
So when I think of Dan, there's a reason Dan's right for this. That's where I'm going.
Sure.
There's a reason Dan is right. I'm not trying to say it's all about Dan. I want to know why Dan is the right guy for this job.
Well, I appreciate you asking me. You know what? I am committed. Myself is committed to the public service in Fort Bend County in District 28. You know what? We have a incumbent who is a candidate now in the office now. But not only that person, pretty much about 60-70% of throughout the state, they are disconnected from the people. Their voice is not heard, has not been heard in our state house. So people feel that. So myself, I am here to serve you. I'm a servant leader. I'm a local person, lived in Fort Bend County for 34 years and doing anything I could possibly do, including helping in the cities, in the counties, in Christian ministries and those things.
Wow.
So I have a servant mind to do it, and this is a time I think I will do pretty good on that.
So see, you answered my question better. Thank you for that. So the second question, you've answered a little bit, but not completely. Why Dan now? Why is this mission in 2024? Why now?
Well, again, like I said, this is the time. You will need someone who are a servant mind to serve you, and I don't see that many of them, especially in this district. I'm the most conservative person. That means I stand with the conservative values and principles and priorities. When the GOP set the conservative priorities, we must stand with it.
Wow.
We don't fall to the left. How in the world that you join with the Democrats who are trying to destroy our state and our nation? You know what? You have to have a backbone. Dan Matthews has that backbone, and I'm standing straight.
That's what I like to hear. Go. I love that, Dan. Okay, so last part of this is what solutions. I know you've identified some problems. Maybe you pick your top two or three problems. What solutions are you bringing to the table? Come on.
Well, everyone knows that how our state is. We have an open border, pretty much is wide open.
Terribly.
Terribly. People are coming, illegal immigrants are coming, not by dozens, by millions. Nobody even knows how many millions are there. 50, 12, 15 million? Maybe so. And if this continues, it will be another 15 million or so, or 10 million or so. I don't know exact numbers. Nobody knows because no count. No one is accountable for that. That will continue it. You know what? It's all hands on deck time. We must protect our state. If it's not, we will lose it soon. We won't have a few more years left. This will be completely done. So this is a time you need people with a strong voice, with the backbone, stand up and say, you know what, there's all hands on deck. Seal the border now. Stop the human trafficking. Stop the illegal immigration. Because, we're spending a lot more money than we ever we need to spend for those things. That's why your property taxes are going high. Everything is going high because you are spending for wasteful spending for these things. Hey, somebody got to stand up.
Wow. Hey, you know this little walk you're doing through the neighborhood today must have you all fired up because I'm loving it. And I'm thinking any minute now you're going to knock the table down. You got so much high energy. So, Dan, first, thank you for that high energy. This is exciting me to really get behind you more and more. So, Dan, as you walk today, as you talk today and tomorrow, what is how does the voter help you? Like, certainly a vote, but
Yes.
but what more can someone do? Can you look at them and tell them how they can help you achieve this goal of yours?
Well, you mentioned about the energy and the enthusiasm. Well, Republicans and conservatives will need more of that. We are kind of pushed to the corner and we are trying to defend ourselves. We never go to the offense. Who is on offense? The other side. They are pushing you to the corner. It is a time to stand up and show some courage and energy and enthusiasm. Say, you know what? We can do better. What you can do, we can do better. That's what Republicans and conservatives should be. That's what I am. Same message goes to every single one of the neighbors I've
So
talking.
tell the viewers, what do they need to do to help you? How can they help?
Well, I need your help, and our state needs your help. You have to come out with the vengeance this time. If you haven't decided who to vote for, I'm here, Dan Matthews. I'm your fighter. I will fight very hard. I will not fall onto the left side as some of the Republicans in the state house doing, including the incumbent. So, you know what? When you see someone fall with them, then turn around and fall the other side so you don't know where you stand. No, that's not what you need, dear friends, my neighbors, the constituents in District 28. You need someone with a backbone to say, you know what? We're going to go on offense against the liberals. Yes, I will do that here in the studio or in the State House. It doesn't matter. It is a time for us conservatives to stand up.
So I'm going to help you out a little bit. So I'm going to speak to your viewers for a minute.
Sure.
You ready for this? I'm going to speak to your viewers. Folks, listen. Dan is telling you exactly what he wants. He's telling you what his mission is. But what he's not telling you ready? He needs you to volunteer. He needs you to donate.
Yes.
He needs you to pray. He needs you to help him achieve the mission that he has in his mind and heart for your state, Texas. So, Dan, what is the best way for them to reach you? Is it a website? Is it a social media? Tell your viewers what that is.
William, thanks for pointing out that. I will need your help, your volunteer time, and your support financially and physically, because this is the time we need to take our state back. If you elect, and I'm repeating this over and over and over, if you elect the same people, you will get the same results, and no one is happy with the results they have now.
Wow.
Do you want to repeat the same thing and repeat the same mistake? Hopefully not. You will make a change. It's time for clean up the entire state house, period. Exception of few of them. Few of them are good ones there. 60% plus are not standing with the people. Again, reaching out to me, you can go to my website, please, and I would appreciate your support, www.texansfordan.com. And also, you will see my phone number. If you call that number, it comes to this phone, and I will most of the calls, and I will return calls as soon as possible in a reasonable time. So you will see it, and please help.
So, do you have yard signs available?
Yard signs are available. Yes.
Okay, so here's what I've learned, and I'll end on this. But what I've learned for our viewers to understand, every yard sign is equivalent possibly to 2 to 4 votes. Okay, so folks, if you are concerned about helping Dan, putting a yard sign in your yard helps, donating helps, voting certainly helps, getting your friends to vote helps. All I can say is you need to get behind this man. You hear his mission. This is not an endorsement. This is simply a directive. If you want to help this man, you need to help him. So, Dan, thank you. Any final thoughts?
I want to say one more thing. For you, I will make it easy for you. If any of the volunteers would like to do, I would like to come to the local Whataburger. If you are in Rosenberg, please set up a time and announce that Dan will be there and handing out push cards and yard signs in local Whataburger. Say, for instance, you're in Rosenberg. Set up a time. I will make that time. Right now, William just called me 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I got here. If it's in Sugar Land, please set up a time. Says, I'm going to organize 15 minutes or 30 minutes in a Whataburger, and I'm going to invite Dan Matthews, and we'll hand it off all the yard signs. Please do in Full Share, in Rosenberg, in Sugar Land, in Needville, and anywhere else. If you have a local Whataburger, people love to go Whataburger. Right?
Whataburger. I was going to say, what do you like, the number 1 more than the number 2 or number 7? What is it?
I normally go with the number 1.
The number 1.
Number
Who
1.
doesn't? That's a
That's
sure
right.
thing. So, Dan, how about a little fist pump because I need that energy? Wow, you rock. Thank you. Get out there and make a difference. Thanks for being on a mission on our behalf.
Well, can I say one more thing about you?
Please.
I want to thank William. He is doing a great job in the city of Sugar Land.
Thank
He
you.
is the man. I always appreciate what you do for the community, regardless of what it is. You are there in the forefront.
I do the
William,
best I can.
and
Thank
also
you.
the Seth organization. Thank you so much.
They're great. Thank you.
Yes, they are.
Hey, howdy, Fort Bend. We'll see you soon.